This morning, one person is dead and 9 others are still missing after a massive chemical tank rupture. It's time for the Streamline, everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less. The explosion happened at a paper mill in Longview, Washington. The tank held 900,000 gallons of a hazardous liquid known as white liquor. The chemical can burn the skin and lungs. Video and images show the crumpled tank there and also crushed vehicles. A man identified as Gilbert Bernal was killed in this disaster. He's a grandfather whose son also worked at this mill. Authorities say ongoing recovery efforts had to be called off due to the unstable tank.
Crews are actively assessing the structural integrity of that tank and working on plans to stabilize that tank before additional recovery operations can safely proceed.
The cause of the rupture is still unclear. Crews hope to stabilize the tank today to resume the search for the missing 9 people. Another 9 people have been injured in this, including 8 employees and 1 firefighter. However, the company that owns the mill was recently fined for health and safety violations. Now, back here in Southern California, evacuation orders have been lifted for the final 16,000 residents in Garden Grove in Orange County following this chemical tank scare. The incident started Thursday, but fire officials say the damaged tank at an aerospace manufacturing facility is no longer at risk of exploding or spilling the hazardous material. A crack in the tank helped reduce the pressure inside. Crews, however, still on scene to monitor the tank's internal temperature, which has stabilized. Orange County prosecutors have opened a criminal investigation into how all of this happened.
An Amber Alert remains in effect for 5-year-old Deleza Fregoso. Right now, police are searching for her father, Ruben Fregoso. He's accused of killing his wife in Los Angeles. San Diego police found Fregoso's car near the outlets in San Ysidro Tuesday. Authorities say he might try to leave the country with his daughter. Anyone who sees them should call 911 immediately. We have an update to a story we brought you as breaking news Tuesday morning. One man's now under arrest after police say he stabbed his younger brother to death. It happened near the Barron's Market on West Point Loma Boulevard. Police say the two got in a fight, but it's not clear what led to that fight. Investigators identified the suspect as 29-year-old Charles Fluker. He's been booked on murder charges. They have not yet identified his brother.
A couple Chula Vista police officers and a forensic specialist took the stand Tuesday in the Larry Miliete murder trial. He's accused of killing his wife Maya back in 2021. Her body hasn't been found. Now, I was in court Tuesday morning where no cameras are allowed. This is video here from previous hearings. Jurors saw photos taken during the search of the couple's home. Now, one photo revealed a computer search from one of the kids' rooms. The search terms included psychological torture and, quote, how to mentally torture someone with words. The jury also saw a letter that Maya wrote to Larry about their marital problems. Part of it said, quote, I want to be happy, and happy is not with you. A forensic specialist testified about possible blood found in Larry's car, but the defense argues it could have been sweat or other bodily fluids. Larry has denied having anything to do with Maya's disappearance or death. The trial continues today. Now, staying in Chula Vista, a man is behind bars accused of murdering his landlord's daughter. As ABC 10 News reporter Austin Grabish explains, it all started with a missing persons report.
This is the house that neighbors say has had a lot of police activity in recent days. Now, there are a few things that stand out here. There's a Ring camera surveillance system, and on the step of the home are a few packages addressed to the suspect, who's now accused of murder. Chula Vista police say they got a call Sunday afternoon from a woman who wanted to report her sister missing. The woman says her sister disappeared after she went to her mother's home here on Via Curvada to address a problem tenant her mother was renting to. When police arrived, they found the missing woman's car and evidence that someone had been badly hurt. According to detectives, 41-year-old Robert Watkins and the woman were involved in some kind of an altercation. Watkins later admitted in an interview with detectives that he killed the woman and disposed of her body, but police say he would not tell them where he put the body. It was here in the bushes at Paseo del Rey Park where someone walking their dog noticed something odd. Police came and say they made the grisly discovery, finding the missing woman's body. Watkins was arrested and booked on a murder charge and is due in court later this week. All of this news has come as a shock to people who live on the street. Neighbors tell me it's a quiet road and were surprised to learn about the alleged murder. We asked Chula Vista Police for an interview, but our request was not granted. Investigators are now asking anyone with more information about this case to contact police or to call Crime Stoppers. In Chula Vista, Austin Grabish, ABC 10 News.
Tonight, San Diego arts and culture groups will fight for funding in this year's city budget. Mayor Todd Gloria released his revised plan in May. He rolled back planned cuts to libraries, rec centers, and youth programs, but 90% of funding for community arts and culture programs is still on the chopping block. Now, that money typically helps fund community theater, cultural festivals, and free performances. The mayor says the money to roll back the other cuts came from 3 golf courses the city owns. ABC 10 News anchor Kimberly Hunt sat down with Mayor Gloria for a 10 talk to find out exactly how that's going to work.
So you know that we have beautiful, world-class municipal golf courses, publicly owned assets that San Diegans and people from around the world come to utilize, most famously Torrey Pines. Those golf courses pay into an enterprise fund, meaning to say that what you pay to golf at Torrey Pines stays in a separate fund away from the general fund. So that does not fund our police officers, our firefighters. It's a self-sustaining program. Well, again, it's wildly successful. And so there is a tremendous amount of revenue that is built up in that fund. And that money is what keeps those golf courses looking fantastic. And we want to keep it that way. Because of our city's budget situation, it was really required a fresh look at everything and really questioning long-held assumptions about whether or not it's still true in 2026. In the case of the Golf Enterprise Fund, we asked some questions about, okay, is this still pertinent? Is this still true? And what we got is our city attorney saying that we can, in fact, recoup the rent from those properties and put more of that toward the general fund. Not in all of it, but a higher percentage of it. Basically, what private golf courses pay will be the same as these public courses, but this will come to the general fund. What does that mean? It basically is about $4 million more per year than what we were previously getting. That's an ongoing resource. What I want, and that's the dollars that is restoring those library hours and those rec center hours. So an ongoing resource with an ongoing expense. So that's how that's accomplished. What has to be clear is this. Some suggested or alluded to the idea of taking all of the money from the Golf Enterprise Fund. That is not something that I support.
The full conversation between Kimberly and Mayor Gloria is on our YouTube page. You can catch more of that interview on later editions of ABC 10 News.
Okay, you better believe it, because San Diego Speller and the Scripps National Spelling Bee is off to a hot start.
Micellar. M-I-C-E-L-L-A-R. Micellar.
That is correct.
Yeah, that was 8th grader Benjamin Reinhardt. He correctly spelled his first word. You heard it there, micellar, and then got his vocabulary question correct. And then he also passed the written test. He now moves on to the 3rd round to continue his journey through the hive. So far, so good. We're crossing our fingers. We will continue to track his progress. And you can too watch the semifinals and the finals today and tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. only on ION. And good luck to him. That's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.